Now, pour the tea.
Hi friends! Welcome to another episode of Tea Talk with Tina, the podcast where we gossip, chit-chat, and spill all the tea about all the things. I'm your host, Tina, and before I get into it, I just want to say I'm so sorry for being MIA the past couple of weeks. I've been trying to adjust to life accordingly, adjusting with my second job and just coming to the realization that I have not worked on my feet for more than an hour or two at a time. Certainly not 3 days in a row. So working at Starbucks has been a huge awakening kind of, I guess, because I've just gotten so used to my cushy desk job, and Starbucks has humbled me very much. So I'm adjusting to that because a bitch is tired. Okay, I come home after those shifts and I'm just sleepy, super sleepy. So that was week one. Week two, I was planning my son's first birthday party. And so that kind of just overtook everything in my life because I wanted to make sure that was all good to go. But I think everything is good now. And I think that I've made the adjustments that I need to make. I think my body has kind of, adjusted to what we're going to be doing for a while now also. So patience with me, just be patient. I love doing this, and I love all the feedback that I've gotten from everybody who has listened, and I appreciate you guys. It's just, a bitch is tired, and I'm learning how to juggle all kinds of things in my life, and it's a slow process, but I'm doing it. Coffee helps. But anyway, so I guess the other thing that I wanted to kind of talk about also was that it is so hard to coordinate guests with my schedule and their schedules. So more than likely, you guys will hear more episodes just of me kind of talking and rambling a bit. Of course, I still want people to come on and talk with me. I just know that, I don't have any expectations for people that I ask to actually, invest, all of their time into me. If we can make it work, we'll make it work at this point. It's not a big deal if we've talked about it before and we haven't made it happen yet. It's just, it is what it is. Life, if you know, you know. So you get me, but it's Tea Talk with Tina, so I think it'll be okay. And what else did I want to talk about? I think that's all the housekeeping items. Oh, one more random thing. If you guys hear a dog barking in the background, I am so sorry. I can't control them. They're feral, but I love them. Those are my dogs, and yes, I am aware that sometimes you can hear them in the background of episodes. I'm so sorry. I am working out kinks to make sure that that's not going to be an issue in the future, but like I said, slowly but steadily, we are going to get the ball rolling. So without further ado, this week's episode is kind of what I wanted it to be, was a homecoming episode, because this week is my class's 10-year high school reunion. If you guys don't know, I actually graduated in 2012, so I've been out of high school for 11 years now. But I graduated a year early, and so the people that I graduated with, I didn't go to their reunion and stuff just because I didn't feel like I was in the right place for it, I guess. I didn't grow up with all those people. I didn't have the special bond that they have, and it's fine. I was hoping that this year's class would include me with all of their festivities if they did anything. And lo and behold, I have been in charge of planning everything. So thanks, class of 2013, for letting me be in charge, because I love to host things. But Anyway, so yeah, we are all getting together, those of us that can, on Friday for the homecoming parade that the high school is having. We are getting together for a dinner before the football game, and then we're all going to go watch the football game together. I think some of us might go out to the bar after. And then on Saturday, we're doing like a family day at the park where everybody brings their families, and it's just another chance for us to like kind of just talk and catch up and, you know, reminisce and things like that. So I'm really, really excited to see some of these people. I literally have not seen them in 10 years, which is a really long time. And that kind of got me thinking about what I wanted to talk about today, which is how much life changes in 10 years, you know? I am definitely not the same person that I was in high school by any means. And I mean, I don't think I am. There are some things that I wish I could tell myself when I was younger or help myself through when I was younger. And I feel like it would have given me a completely different experience in high school. And I kind of just have to like, well, damn it. Like, I missed opportunities, you know? Well, like, for example, the confidence that I have now in myself, I wish I would have had that confidence back in high school. I feel like I could have accomplished a lot more, and I feel like I would have just been a little bit happier. I didn't have a bad high school experience by any means. There were some things that happened that just like, I don't know, I guess could have been prevented. I can't really think of anything like, I don't think I was ever bullied, and I don't think like there was any crazy, like there's always like boy drama that I had to deal with, and you know, like friend drama and stuff like that. But I mean, I feel like that's typical. I think if I knew the things I know about myself now, the things that I've learned about myself, if I could have told my younger self that how to fix these issues and kind of how to cope with things, I feel like I could have had a whole different experience. 10 years is a very, very long time. I feel like I have lived several different lives since high school ended. And it's definitely been a lot of ups and so many downs. But I have gotten to a point in my life that I don't think I would change anything that's happened since then. I have grown, and I feel like I know who I am a little bit better. I think when we're in high school, we're so focused on making everyone else happy. You know, we're so focused on making our parents happy, making our teachers happy, our coaches, our friends. And we're so focused on like spending time impressing people that you're not going to see for literally 10 years after high school, probably. I was close with a bunch of my friends after high school for a while, and then somehow we all just kind of drifted. You know, people get busy with their jobs and their families. You know, they get married and they move away, and then they start having kids, and then like life really starts to kind of like kick us in the butt a little, I feel, because we just kind of forget people. Not in like in a malicious way or anything like that. You just kind of like, I find myself a lot of the times just thinking, man, I wonder what so-and-so has been up to. I haven't seen them in a hot minute. And then like, you know, you go through your social medias and you're like stalking them to see how they're doing, and you see that they have a wife and they have kids and that they got a job promotion, like that they're doing things that make them happy and their life fulfilling. It's just like, for me, it's a good feeling to see people that I went to school with doing good things with their lives. I know that social media can be whatever you want it to be. So if you just want to show people the best parts of your life and that's what you use your social media platform for, by all means. Like, who am I to judge? I'm the type of person where I'm going to tell you everything because I don't care. Like, I'm an open book. It's who I am. That's what I choose to share. And so kind of what you see is what you get, unless I'm feeling kind of moody or whatever and someone gives me the wrong coffee order. I'm going to put the world is ending as my Facebook status, and all it is that they made my coffee hot instead of iced. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, people choose what they want you to see and what they don't want you to see. And so I'm excited to kind of see everybody face to face and just kind of get like a better perspective of what they've gone through the last 10 years and like all the ups and all the downs, because it's nothing to be ashamed of if you've had a rough 10 years and if you're not in a place where you thought you would be. I most certainly am not in a place where I thought I would be 10 years from high school. The place that I'm in now, I thought I was going to be in this situation like 5 years ago, and I was not. It took me 10 years to get the husband that I love, the comfy house that we live in, the car that I drive, the jobs that I love, and I'm still working towards things. You know, in the last 10 years, I have worked so many jobs. I've been on and off with college classes because I can't decide what I want to do. I've been on and off with my fitness journey. Like, I've met so many people, and it's just all of those things. I didn't expect for them to happen the way that they've happened, but it is what it is. Things are going to happen the way that they're supposed to happen. And I think what I would tell myself when I was younger is that it's not bad to plan for the future that you want. Obviously, you want to do the things that you want. So maybe your goals are to go to college for a certain degree. You get to college and you start taking the classes for this degree, and you're just like, whoa. This is not what I thought I signed up for. And then you're kind of left discouraged because then you're like, this is what I spent my entire high school career working towards. And it's now something that I'm not passionate about all of a sudden. When I left high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do, honestly. Our junior year, they had us do this 5-year plan, 10-year plan, something like that. And I honestly could not tell you what I wrote for that essay because I didn't even know then what I wanted to do now. And I thought I did. You know, I had some ideas, but I'm just the kind of person where, like, I feel like my spirit is so free and so open to trying new things. If I'm interested in it, I will give it a shot. And if I like it enough, I'll stick with it for a hot minute. So, like, for example, I've always wanted to work at Starbucks. Like, I don't think a lot of people know that, but I feel like it's always been like a goal of mine, like a bucket list item, if you will. I don't know what to say about it, but I've always wanted to work at one. And when we got one, finally, that's not in a safe way, I decided to give it a shot. And it's because I'm a coffee enthusiast. Even before I started working at Starbucks, I find coffee fascinating. I find the recipes fascinating. And that might have something to do like with the bartender in me, which I always wanted to be a bartender at one time. And I did that. And it was fun while it was fun. And I moved on from that part of my life. So I like working at Starbucks. It's not to say that it's going to be my lifelong dream, but the company itself is so good. And there's so many they have so many good opportunities there that it might just be something I stick around with for a while because coffee making is something you're passionate about. And it might sound stupid because I'm 28 years old and I have a full-time job that's like adult job, whatever you want to call it. But I also had my big girl job at the bank, and I loved it. I loved working at the bank. It was something I was so good at, and I love working with money. I loved being around people. I loved being able to be part of the management team there. Like, it taught me so many good traits and qualities that I feel like I'm going to have for the rest of my life. I thought I was going to retire from Chase. Like, I thought I would work there for the rest of my career. And I thought that I would move up and work in different areas, maybe even run the Safford branch at some point in my career. And it didn't happen. It's so weird what life is going to throw at you when you least expect it. I definitely wasn't looking for another job when I got the opportunity to work at the hospital, but I'm glad I took it, and I'm glad it came because it's just been better for me. It's been better for my family and my kids because my schedule is more flexible. I have more time to plan things out like appointment wise. I'm not stressing about it. My boss has been really great with me. I found out I was pregnant right when I was transitioning into a new job, and the people there, they worked with me, and they really made me feel comfortable, and they accommodated, like when I was sick and when I would go on maternity leave. When I came back, they said I could work from home, and they set up a system there for me after that, after I had the baby. And so I just like, I'm so thankful that that opportunity came. But again, it is not something that I planned for at all. If you would have asked me in high school if I ever thought I'd be working at the hospital doing payroll, that was not even a thought. I thought that, I don't even know what I thought. I thought I would have been graduated from college already too. But I'm so indecisive, like I said, about what I want to do because I'm interested in so many things. When I got out of high school, I was supposed to go to Grand Canyon University. I got accepted at Grand Canyon University, and I had a partial scholarship for graphic design. The only reason I switched to graphic design was because the advisors at the college told me that I could get a scholarship if I did that. So boom, changed it. I don't know what I was going to do before. Oh yeah, I do. Before I changed my major to graphic design, I was going to do psychology. And then they told me they didn't have any scholarships for psychology, so they offered me graphic design, which I did graphic design in high school. I was on yearbook staff and everything, and I really enjoyed it. I was really good at it. But the only reason I chose it was because I had a scholarship opportunity, which I thought was smart at the time. But lo and behold, it did not matter because I did not end up going to Grand Canyon University because I was a poor bitch. And it's fine. Not a big deal. I stayed in town. I wasn't even going to take college classes. I decided to last minute, and that's something that I paid for on my own accord because I was working at Little Caesars and I wanted to play softball at EAC. So I came on my own. I paid for classes on my own using my Little Caesars monies. And I did end up starting classes for psychology. College was a whole different experience. I did really good the first semester, but I couldn't afford to go back after that fall semester just because, like I said, all of that was coming out of my own monies, and I had a hard situation as far as like transportation. I didn't have a lot of support at home with my education, and so that was hard for me also. And so I just stopped going for a little bit. The following semester, I got back on my feet. So the following fall, I went back to school, and then it's just like from there, it's been up and down. I've changed my major so many times. What I've been working on the past several years is business because that is like what I'm used to. I've had experience, like life experience, working from the bank and just customer service, and now my payroll. So I think I always say now that I wish people would just go and work and get experience before they take college classes, because honestly, what I found is that it's going to help you kind of just it's going to help you relate to the things that you're learning about. Like for me, for example, business, customer service, I took a business management class, and like everything that like the assignments and stuff, it's like, what can you relate to this experience and this experience? And I'm just like, oh, there's a time at work where I had to do this, or the values of a company, like pick a company and I can just be like, oh, well, this company chooses this, and I know this because I've worked at these places. And so I think having that work experience for me has been beneficial in my schooling, and I'm doing better now with it than I did before because I understand it and I've experienced it. That's my personal thoughts about it. I don't know how to say that in a better way. It sounds stupid. But you know what I mean? It's like not everybody was meant for college right after high school. Sometimes we do need to gain that like real life experience before we can understand what we're supposed to be like learning about. And now as an adult, I go into like new workplaces and I'm just like, I know what empathy is. I know how to talk to people. I know how to deal with disgruntled customers. I know how to deal with disgruntled employees. Like, and I'm so thankful that I have that experience. But again, it's not something I thought I would have after 10 years of being out of high school. I think if I could have thought of a perfect 5-year, 10-year plan, it would have been from from high school to college, graduate college, find a good job, hopefully find a man, get engaged, get married, have some kids, show up to the high school reunion. I think that's pretty basic plan. And I think growing up, that is what we're accustomed to thinking is the way that life happens, and that is absolutely not how it happens. You heard me. I've been in and out of like college classes. I've been married. I've been divorced. I've had 2 kids. I've worked more jobs than what people think is good for like resume wise or whatever. But like the way I see it is I've gained experience and I have so much more background knowledge for like the way people work and the way companies work that a lot of people don't understand. And I feel like I'm successful because I've had all those opportunities. I don't feel like I fell behind whatsoever. I think in the beginning, when you see all of your friends, and it's so much easier now, especially with like social media being a bigger part of everyone's lives, it's so easy to get caught up and think, well, these people are doing exactly what I wanted to do, you know? And it's like, you feel a little bit shameful for yourself. And I feel like that's normal. But also, it's just that people are all on a different path. And some people, it doesn't matter what order you get things done, as long as you're getting it done. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. And it's so easy to compare yourself to like the people that you went to school with because you knew them in school and you knew their personalities and their like work ethic and things like that. That could have easily changed in the last 10 years. Like, people change, and maybe like the main parts of them are still the same, like their personality and things like that. But people, 10 years is a lot of time for anybody to go through anything. And I can say that with so much experience because I've been through some shit that I never thought I would ever have to go through. But I'm not ashamed of it because I know that it's given me so much like knowledge for things that are very, very common. And people are ashamed to talk about them. And I'm like, nah, like we all go through struggles, and it's like no one's struggle is worse than yours. Everybody struggles at their own pace. So like what's a struggle to me may not be a struggle to you, but you know what? It's still my struggle, and I'm going to work past it, and I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to grow through it. And at the end of the day, I can help somebody else go through that same experience. And hopefully they'll have a better outcome sooner than what I had to learn. I think what we also forget is that life is not a competition, and we don't have to hurry up to get somewhere. You know, yes, life is short, and there's so many things that people want to do and goals that we want to accomplish before our time is through. You know, my favorite saying is things are going to happen the way that they're supposed to happen. And it's good to set goals and expectations for yourself, and not saying that you can't prepare. It's just that life has its own plan, and you don't always get to pick it. You don't always get to choose it. And if you're one of those lucky people that has had things go exactly the way you want them to your whole life, well, I'm not that jealous of you, honestly, because if things would have gone exactly the way I planned for them, I don't think I would be the person that I am. I don't feel like I would have as much empathy for people as I do. I don't feel like I would also have very much sympathy for people. I never expected to meet so many different people along the way of my life. And the different workplaces have introduced me to people that I never thought I would kind of be around. And of course, everyone knows that I was around like the party scene for a hot minute. You know, I worked at the bar. And the thing is, though, is like being able to be around those different types of people has helped me see the world from so many different points of view. And not all of them I have always agreed with, but it's like I wish I could have told myself when I was younger to step out of my comfort zone a little bit more. And I've always felt like I was the kind of person that kind of just vibed with everybody, no matter who you were, you know, where you came from, what you were interested in. I feel like I always was a person that like people could come to and talk to. And I mean, I always tried to be that person because I never wanted anybody to feel left out. And I still feel like that kind of person, but I have boundaries now. And I wish I could have told myself back then to have boundaries and to stick up for myself more, because I do feel like I was pressured a lot, just not and not any kind of bad way. Like, I'm talking about high school specifically, pressured into just being the best, having the best grades, being the best athlete, being the best class president. Like, and I didn't know how to juggle all of that stuff at 17 years old. How do you know how to juggle with those things? And on top of all of that, not knowing how to deal with my anxiety, my depression, that was really hard. And that is something that I wish definitely could have been different growing up in general, is that I wish I would have gotten the help that I needed for all of that when I was younger. I could have lived a whole different life. But you know what? It is what it is. I'm an adult now. And the best part about being an adult and being a mom is that the things that I went through, the feelings that I felt, I can remember that. And I can remember to look for the signs and to make sure that my kids don't have to go through things like that. That they don't have to worry about coming to me with fears of being not perfect, or, you know, if they have the anxiety or they're going through stress and it's just too much. It's my job as a parent to help them through that and to share with them the experiences I went through as well. I want them to know that I'm going to be their safe space and that they can come to me with these things, because just because I can't go back and help my younger self through those things doesn't mean that I can't use my knowledge now for good use. My kids. And I think at the end of the day that is why life didn't go the way that I planned. Because, you know, God, manifestation, whatever it is you believe in, it's going to lead you down the path that you belong, that you are supposed to go down. I was meant to go down all of the crazy, twisty roads in this life. I was meant to have all of the crazy experiences that I've had. I was meant to have the long, hard nights And I was meant to go through the struggles that I went through. I feel like for my kids. And I say that because I feel like I'm going to be a better mom because of everything. At the end of the day, I was meant to be a mom. And I was meant to be a wife. And knowing that I can be vulnerable and open and honest in all aspects of my life, I want my kids to have those qualities. I want them to know that they don't ever have to be ashamed of who they are and what they want to do, that I'm going to be their biggest supporter, and that I'm going to do whatever it is I have to do to make their dreams a reality. And that is what I've learned in the last 10 years about myself, is that I'm not ashamed of the person that I was. I wish sometimes I could give my younger self a big hug. And it might sound cliche, it might sound oversaid, but I just want to tell myself that it gets better. And it doesn't happen overnight. A lot can change in 10 years. I'm not the same person that I was in high school, though I do still have some traits that might be the same. I feel like I know who I am. I know what I believe in. And I do believe that I'm a good person. I'm a good friend. I'm a good mom and a good wife, a good employee, what have you. I'm just bragging about myself for a second. But I feel like we should all be able to do that. I'm just excited to see everybody this weekend because, like, there's just something about seeing people that you used to vibe with all the time. Like, I like a lot of people in this life now, but, like, I didn't have any problems with the people that I went to school with. So I'm excited to see them, and I'm excited to talk to them face to face and just see how life has been the last 10 years. And I'm hoping that I don't get too emotional when I'm talking about my life. But like I said, I'm an open book, and I just hope and I pray and I know that the next decade of my life is going to be great, because, like, it can only go up from here, I think. And so I'm excited to see what the next decade is going to be like. And I'm not scared of the future. I don't think it's something that anybody should be scared of or threatened by. It's going to come whether we like it or not. We just kind of have to go with the flow, and, life will happen the way that it's supposed to happen. I don't really know what else to say about it. And with that, I just like to say thank you guys for listening. If you guys want to drop comments in the YouTube or the Spotify questionnaire, let me know one significant thing that's happened to you in the last 10 years or since you've been gone from high school, whether it be 10 years, 5, or 1, or if you just graduated. Like, I want to know what has been significant to you since you left high school. And it could be about anything. The way you see the world, the way you view yourself, the way you view the people that you knew in school. I want to know all the things. So drop comments. Don't forget to subscribe on Spotify and YouTube. And again, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been listening, taking the time out of their day to check this podcast out. It's not where I want it to be, but it will be there one day. And with you guys continuing to listen and give me the feedback, I know that it's going to be something great. And that's all the tea for this episode. Bye, friends.